Good afternoon and Roll Tribe, ICC fans. Welcome to this special edition of the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi, as today's show is going to serve as our virtual football media day. But like every week, the ICC Hour is still being presented to you by our friends at Renasant Bank.
Might be a little while before I get to the bank.
That's an incomplete pass. Let's give it a Renasant replay. Renasant Mobile Check Deposit. Make the right call and open an account with Renasant today.
On today's show, we'll get a preview of the upcoming football season from head coach Sean Cannon and the ICC offensive coordinator, Coach Chad Cook. And later on in the show, assistant SID Lee Adams will catch up with members of the ICC football team to get their take on the season as well. Now, as of when we recorded the show, or recorded this part, I've actually had to re-record this part, the Indians were set to open the season this Thursday night at Southwest Mississippi in Summit. But as of right now, those plans could change or could have already changed by the time the show airs due to Hurricane Ida. So we do encourage you to visit letsgoicc.com or the ICC football page on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC for any of those possible changes that have been or will be made. But with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the 2021 ICC football schedule. Now, as we mentioned, the Indians are scheduled to open the season on Thursday at Southwest Mississippi before returning to Fulton for 3 straight home games, the first being against Colin on September the 9th. The Indians will open North Division play against Kahoma on September the 16th before closing out a 3-game homestand with homecoming against Jones on September the 23rd. ICC will then have back-to-back road games at Northeast on September the 30th and at Mississippi Delta on October the 7th. Then the Indians will return home to face Holmes on October the 14th before traveling to Northwest on October the 21st and closing out the season with a home game against East Mississippi on October the 28th. That full schedule is available on our athletic website, letsgoicc.com. Now, here's the cool part. You can't make it to any of the games, either in Fulton or on the road. You can catch all of the ICC football games this season right here on Super Talk Mississippi, 101.9 FM, and streaming live at letsgoicctv.com, starting with the Davis Ford pregame show 30 minutes before the First American National Bank opening kickoff. And if we happen to have to play on a Saturday, the games will only be on letsgoicctv.com. When we come back, we'll hear from Coach Sean Cannon and Coach Chad Cook right here on the ICC Hour.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion, or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton, or online, davisfordsales.com.
Playing on tour takes years of dedication, hours of practice, focused precision, and nerves of steel. That's how you become great at the game, but not how you should bank. That's why Allie Ewing chose Renasant Bank. Their easy-to-use app makes banking a breeze, no matter where she is. Renasant Bank, understanding you.
And welcome back now. So we're talking with Coach Sean Cannon about the upcoming football season, head coach of the Indians here. And Coach, I'm going to turn the floor over to you, kind of let you discuss how the overall team's looking, and of course you being the defensive coordinator, talk a little defense as well.
Yeah, we've been working hard. Had a pretty decent summer, and kind of getting the new kids kind of adjusted back to getting into football mode. And I think the thing that's helped us a lot this year is having a lot of guys that's played football for us. We've got some guys that's been back for basically their junior year. We're calling them super sophomores. That got that free year last year. Due to COVID, and was able to come back this year. And so you can really tell the maturity those guys is having an effect on our football team. And then our second year guys that were freshmen for us last year, kind of know how things are done now, and they're showing pretty good flashes and everything. And then trying to get our freshmen caught up, and a little bit different, preseason, just as far as the way we've been able to practice and have to go out in helmets and that type thing. So we're trying to get ourselves caught up, to wearing full gear and all those things. But right around the corner here, kickoff next Thursday, so our kids are excited about about playing.
Well, Coach, let's talk about just the defensive look right now. Core of linebackers coming back, so that's a good thing to start with there. But let's just break it down with your linebackers, then go defensive line, and then secondary.
Yeah, had six returners back from last year, at the linebacker position, and that's good of, having a lot of continuity at that position, knowing the calls, knowing where to line up, and so it's not a lot of coaching on my part. I've just only really got two brand new kids that were not on our team last year, and so the maturity level at that position is very key, and being able to, to kind of put our efforts a little more as coaches on other positions and not much as focused on the linebackers, just because that's where a lot of our returning guys come from. On the D line, kind of in the same situation. We've got about 9 or 10 we're going to suit up this year, and I think 6 of those 9 or 10 are second or third year returning guys. You got like Tyreek Howard and Jaquan Lott and Reggie Wilburn and those guys that are that's been in battles, been in junior college games, and so that's going to help us as far as the maturity level of at least going into the first game. They're going to know what to expect. And with Corley at Hooper and Cager at linebacker and Hearn, so you got a lot of guys that's played a lot of snaps for us last year, and played a lot of college football, in general. Secondary really only have 2 guys back. We got Peyton Ray and Raphael Dunn, and so that's really where we're going to have to be. We've been trying a lot of different positions there, moving guys around, but we're really, really young in the secondary, which we knew we were going to be. That's where we lost the majority of our kids, and so hopefully, as they say, the best pass coverage is a pass rush, so hopefully the defensive line and linebackers kind of control that and never really even get the ball to the secondary, and so it's going to take them a little bit of time to kind of get used to the, to the speed of it, but I think they're doing a good job, there, picking up everything, and hopefully we'll be able to put our stamp on our kids back there and being able to play good football, starting out, next week.
How's the special teams looking?
Well, we're breaking in a new punter, and Price Nix has done a good job. He's a punter / kicker, so he's going to give us a little bit of both. But I think he's done a pretty good job punting the ball, and a big guy. He's a 6'2", 200-something pound kid, and so he's shown pretty good putting a leg in the ball, breaking in a new snapper, and so I think those guys have worked pretty good. And Shane last year's back, from last year as our kicker, and really off season really helped his leg. He's now putting that ball in the end zone a lot of times when we do kickoff, and kind of understands football and everything. And and the kids are, he's kind of one of the guys. I'm saying? Sometimes the kickers are, maybe obsoleted from the team sometimes, but he's kind of one of the guys that all the guys really like and watch him kick and everything. So excited about those guys, and getting them out there and see what they're going to do.
Talk about the new snapper. He's got no room for mistake, does he?
Well, he can't go home. If he screws it up, I told him he cannot come back home. But no, I think what's been really hard, on me is, I'm kind of in the daytime. I'm coach. I really don't think about him being there. Just kind of another one of the players. And we were texting last week one night and just kind of catching up. He's like, I kind of miss Dad. And I'm like, well, I said I'm really not Dad during the daytime. But. Gonna be a little different, and it's kind of grown up around here. He's been on our sidelines for a long time, and a lot of the old guys like Dan and Galmore, and they're all, he still keeps in touch with them, and so that's just kind of the special bond that these guys have developed over the years with him, and now to be able to see him come out and play for us, this year is gonna be different, different for Mom, Dad, and. Family being able to come watch Dad and son, and grandson play and everything like that. So, but I did tell him, I said, you mess it up, don't come back to the sideline, But no, he's done a good job for us, and and hopefully he'll keep doing that in the games, and that's where it matters the most. But I think he's done a pretty good job in practice.
And for those watching or listening, his son, Wade, is a long snapper. I failed to mention that in the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so got a reverse transfer at quarterback this year. Of course, we'll talk a little offense a bit later on. But talk about some of those incoming guys, new faces that you look to see make a big impact this season.
Yeah, and that's really the spot. You look at returning guys. We didn't have a lot offensively. You look at our running backs. Jamal Brooks and R.J. Wilson are back from last year. Buddy Ballman, who was the MVP lineman of the state last year, is back on the O-line. Woodall, will be a 3-year starter for us. And you look at, J.J. Daniels coming back at receiver, but J.J. really didn't play a whole lot. Got injured last year early in camp and just really never kind of got his foot in the door there. And, and Jordan Buchanan's returning receiver for us. But you look past those guys, that's about it. Most of our returning guys were defensively, and so we're breaking in 3 brand new quarterbacks. We're breaking in a couple new running backs, and pretty much now an offensive line. Missing here and there. And I forgot about Qdarius Hodges was a guy that played for us too, and so that's really kind of where we're new. Receiving core, I think it's 5 out of 8, that are brand new, and so we feel like we've got some pretty good guys there, And you look at our quarterback situation, I think Coach Cook's done a good job of getting all 3 guys reps, and that's the thing, you look at that position, there's only one that can go out there, but one thing we've kind of talked about is you're one play away from playing the rest of the year. Somebody goes down, you got to be ready to go, not only physically ready to go, but also mentally ready to go, and this is one of the only years, I think, since Coach Cook's been here that we've never had a returning quarterback come back from spring. We're breaking in 3 brand new guys, and so they're still learning. They're still learning the offense and everything, and and that's the thing I told them when we started, guys. What's our enemy is time. I said we're going to look up and we're going to be in the single digits, and here we are. We're 9 days away from playing. And so seen some good things out of all of them. Hunter Jones has done a good job. Sam, and Tylen have all done good things, and so hopefully. We can use all of them's ability throughout the year, and so, but those guys have done a pretty good job. I feel like we've got some really good receivers, we feel like we've got some talented receivers, I think, that can, that can stretch the field. This kind of reminds us a little bit as coaches of our 17 group. We had Dan, and we had Terry and Salisbury and Honeycutt and those guys, and Jamel. We kind of feel like we've got those type of guys, this year, and so. Going to be interesting. That's one thing. You just don't know how the kids are going to play when that first ball is snapped against somebody else. But hopefully we've got them prepared, in practice enough to go out and just get the ball to our guys and let them go make plays.
Well, you've got the longest road trip possible in the league to start the season at Southwest. Come back with Coley Jones, very tough teams there as well. I mean, everybody knows that the MACCC league is tough, top to bottom of the SEC. So let's kind of just break down the overview of the schedule and maybe some of those conference games that you feel like could be key this season.
Yeah, last year before we had to, change our schedule, we had those trips. We were going to Coley, going to Jones, and stuff, and then so, worked out where we kept our schedule from last year this year and just kind of flipped everything, and so, got 5 home games. I don't know if I think in my 12 seasons here, we've ever had back-to-back home games, after our first game, and so that's going to be great for our fans, and then making the long road trip first, to Southwest. As a coach, you never want to go on the road first because you always feel like you're going to forget something. Did we pack this? Did we pack that? But that's just the thing we got to do, and and that's the thing about the South. We didn't see them last year didn't play any South games, and so. Southwest is breaking in a brand new coach with Coach Collins there coming from East Mississippi and brand new staff. In the past they've been an option type of offense, so we really don't know. We're going in. I've kind of told our kids on defense we're going in blind. We might have to make a lot of adjustments from first, second, and third series to kind of figure out what they're going to do. Personnel wise and everything. Just because we didn't see them last year to really know to kind of know what kind of personnel they're going to be. And then. Then we got Jones, then we got Coley, then Coahoma, our first division game there, mixed in the middle of our 3 South Division opponents, and so looking forward to the home season. That's one thing. Last year I think we got 2 games last year, maybe, or 3 that we played, and so hopefully we'll be able to get our games in. Just because we go to a lot of places in the league, and I think our game day atmosphere and with our band and everything is something that's second to none around the league, and then you look at got a road game at Mississippi Delta, got a road game at Northeast, which always going to be a tough games there, but got East Mississippi here. Our last game go to Northwest, and so I kind of look at our North games as they're all must wins, for everybody, not just at Awama, but for everybody. They got to win all your games, and what's going to be the challenge this year is staying healthy, and fighting this virus again. We felt like it was gone, now it's back again, and so we're trying to take every precaution we can to keep our kids safe and keep them on the field, and I know that's going to be a challenge we've already faced already in preseason, and hopefully that we've got all of that out of the way, and hopefully it will not affect us, moving forward. But we got to be able to adjust, and that's why they've upped our roster spots a little bit to give some extra players, and things, and so that's what we've all kind of told the kids. We might have a guy here one day and he might not be here again, for whatever the period they might be gone in, and so we've got to make sure we're ready to step up in those roles if needed be, and so it is what it is. We just got to keep fighting a good fight, as they say.
Well, Coach, let's talk about fighting that fight. It's an unfortunate part for your coaching staff to have to adapt to add to the distractions you already have.
Yeah.
What's your message to the team? I know the college has their protocols, but what are the teams doing? What's your message to the players?
Well, just try to be around each other. That's one of the hardest things, because I know college kids they want to be with with other people, and it's hard just to stay with a football player all the time, and then what you worry about the most is going home on the weekends, when kids are away from us, and look, we've got kids that that have gotten it in the past, and we try to figure out where they get. You don't know, you could be pumping gas, and getting it from a gas handle. It's just one of those things that we're having to adjust back through again. But we'll say last year did help us a little bit, just to kind of figure out what we need to do and how we need to go about things, and and that's a great deal about our leadership at our college, from our president and vice president and athletic director. We've got a plan in place, and so we had to re-up the plan a little bit, starting back in the fall, from last year. But I think, what we go through there is something we're prepared for, and it's unfortunate, we want every kid to be able to play and and be able to to finish their season out. But hopefully we can be one of those that can finish at the end, and so it's one thing. Like I said, it's you got to take more of the precautions now when a kid comes and says, "Coach, I got a little bit of sniffle, I got a cough." In the past you'd be like, "Well, just let's suck it up and be ready to go." But now, the way it is, you got to make sure that you take every precaution, because you got to protect everybody, not just him, but everybody that comes in contact with him.
And Coach, I'll wrap up by opening the floor back up to you. Talk to the fans, the supporters, the families, to get them fired up for this season.
Yeah, last year, didn't get the whole college feel. The freshman run, the halftime performances on the field and everything. And we hear the band in the afternoons when we're out there practicing. We hear them up on their practice field, playing the fight song and everything. And that's the thing I want our kids to experience. I want every student here to experience that. Be able to experience our game day atmosphere and the everything that goes on with it, and then and hopefully all of our families and the players' families and fans can be able to pack the stadium out, and it's been done right now. You look around in preseason NFL, and we'll see this weekend with college football, starting up, and so hopefully we'll be able to go back to the way it used to be, and when we walk out our back locker room there's people all around, around the locker room, walking to get to their seats and standing around and high-fiving, and just didn't get to experience that last year. So hopefully we'll be back to that part of normalcy, and and of course, like I've always said, one thing about our games at home, and never leave to the end. We like to make them interesting, and so we're going to have we'll have a great home schedule this year, and I believe that hopefully our kids will be able to answer that challenge, and and be able to have get our season in.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time, and good luck this season.
All right.
Are you interested in furthering your career in the food service industry? Well, ICC has the perfect opportunity for you. Our 4-week class will provide you with the tools you need to enhance your career and quickly advance to the next level. For more information, visit iccms.edu or call 662-407-1505.
Renasant Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renasant Rewards Extra Checking, go to RenasantBank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renasant Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
They used to call me Sir Sauce back in the day.
I knew you was going to claim
Sir
that.
Sauce a lot.
You know.
Will is the sauciest
guy they know. Well, when I used to date your auntie,
inside.
she said I was saucy.
Sonic Crave Cheeseburger. You a saucy cat, man.
If I crave something, I have to have it.
Well, so what are you craving? Like, what do you crave?
Attention, apparently. Look at him all sitting in the middle.
I know, right? It is really awkward. You just chose to sit there.
Sonic Crave Cheeseburger.
Look at this new crazy calzone from those brainiacs at Little Caesars. It's a pepperoni pizza surrounded by a calzone crust. Little Caesars got us again.
Is it more pizza or more calzone?
I don't know. What do you think, Pizza Bot?
Pizza, calzone, both. Confused. Pizza, calzone, both. Tell my wife. Bleep bloop.
Whoa, we're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. The new crazy calzone for $8.49.
Pizza.
Hey, Indian fans, I'm Ricky Murphy, real estate agent, Tommy Morgan Realtors, and I'm also a proud alumni of the All-American Marching Band. Itawamba Community College was my home for 2 years, and where you decide to make your home will be one of the most important decisions of your life. Whether you're looking to create a plan to buy your first home, or if you're ready today to make a move into your forever home, give me a call or send me a message so we can discuss your next move. And for my family, roll Tribe!
And welcome back. Now talking with offensive coordinator Coach Cook. And Coach, before we get started, I'm going to let you talk about the team, the offense, and how things are looking so far.
Well, it's growing pains. First time since I've been here where all three quarterbacks are new. Receivers had a couple guys returning, but most of the production was gone. And then offensively up front, we've had 3 to 4 offensive linemen that's been able to that played a lot for us last year. But the offense takes time. You've got to be able to. I've always said this: you've got to fail to succeed. Now, you don't want to fail multiple days in a row, but a lot of times you got to hit the valley before you ever get to the peak. And with new quarterbacks, especially going against Coach Cannon every day, I tell them all the time, if you can pick this up, the game's going to be slow, because we've got a lot of returning guys kind of in the box, so you've got to be really right, setting the protections and so forth at quarterback. But it's been fun, that's why I do what I do, being around this program, work for Coach Cannon, being able to coach college kids, and I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully we'll have it there before next week when we actually have to step out on the field. A lot of guys have done some good things, and just really looking forward to kind of seeing it all come together, because everybody knows on offense it takes 11. If 10 are perfect and 1 is just a little wrong, it looks bad. So. The kids, one thing I give to them, Coach Cannon stresses, being in shape, so we win the game in the fourth quarter. I've been really pleased kind of with the total effort they've given us. We've just got to clean up some minimal mistakes.
Gotcha. Now, we talked about that, not a lot of returners, so without giving a whole lot away, it kind of gives you a clean slate to build your offense around the talent you've got. So sort of talk about what fans can expect, again, not giving anything away, but what fans can expect offensively this season.
Well, I feel really good about our receivers. Every year that I've been here, and before I got here, we've always had at least one that led, close to leading the state in receptions or yards or in the nation. But as a group, I really feel good about those guys. I wish they'd be a little more vocal, but I feel like we've got guys we can really spread the field with. Because kind of in the past, every year each offense has a different identity, but at times I've started to run the ball to open up the pass. And then at times the pass is open up the run. And this year right now, if I had to guess, I would say it's pretty much 50-50. I think I've got the quarterbacks that understand, first, second, third level progressions in routes. But I also feel really good up front that we can run the ball when we need to, and kind of starting out, I want to be able to take what the defense gives us. If they're going to play too high and stay back, let's take it underneath, be able to run the football. But also if they want to press us and walk down, then we've got to answer for that, So probably if right now at the moment, if we had a game tomorrow, I think it'd be right at 50-50 run and pass.
Gotcha. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Talk about those guys and how they're progressing.
Well, like I said, all of them were new, and the way the schedule kind of fell this year, we hadn't practiced. It seems like we practiced a lot, but in reality, we hadn't practiced a lot as far as where we could get, everybody's a T-shirt All-American. Helmets, you don't know until the bullets get to flying and the pads get going. Sam Saxton has done a good job. He's trying to learn an offense. And kind of what I did, I front-loaded the packages this year. In the past, I've kind of given them a little, let them work on it a while, go to the second stage, let them work on it, go to the third stage, and then pull it all back together. And this year, I pretty much put it all at the front just to see exactly what they could handle mentally. He's done a good job. Hunter Jones from Amory's done a good job. To me, all three of them kind of have different skill set. They can all pretty much do the same thing, but they all bring a little different dimension, to the table. And Tylen Carter, a guy that kind of attracted us in high school because he ran the ball a lot. Like he was a guy that his offense, they asked him to run the ball, and he's probably maybe a little different than the other two, but he can also do the same thing. Because in my mind, the way my mind works, I'm so simple-minded. Whichever one starts, the second guy is one play away. The third guy is 2 plays away from determining the fate of our season. So, while we've been practicing, I've tried to take all three. Okay, what if they go out there the first play? What I know they feel good about, and then I've tried to, as time goes on, incorporate where all three can do the basic offense.
Well, you talk about that, then they got to have people that can catch the ball. You got a core of receivers coming back. Of course, we've already talked about Daniels with Coach Cannon earlier. Talk about some of those guys as well.
Yes, sir. The early in camp, I stole this analogy from Coach Cannon. From Coach Fox. He come by, and when you get new quarterbacks, you never really know. You know their personality, but you don't ever really know. We were basically like this. If we were press man on the basketball court, and I'm guarding the point guard, and I steal the ball at half court, the easiest thing to do is go down the court and lay it up. Well, we was pulling up, 30-foot threes. I said, guys, in college, you want to just get the ball out quick, because these D-lines and secondaries are really good in this league. Well, J.J. Russell has done a good job. Chris Howard was here in the spring also, transfer guy. We've had Webb from Oxford, and actually watched the guy we signed. He's kind of a running back slot guy. Those guys can take a 5-yard hitch and go 80. And it took a while for the quarterbacks to kind of see that it's not, you can't make a living in college throwing it down the field. You throw it down the field when defense is bust, but you take underneath. But those guys have really, they got a good attitude every day. And there's a couple more that are coming along that we really need to, because I want to play a lot of plays. And we need at least 6 to be ready for the games. I feel like we've got 5 right now, at receiver.
All right, running backs, that's one spot that you kind of got some experience coming back in, some rough, tough guys there. Talk about your running backs.
Probably been the two that's led the offense the most, Jamal Brooks and R.J. Wilson. Those guys been in the fire. They know what they're about to get into. We've brought in Eric Watts, like I said, from Opelika out of Georgia. And then a couple of younger guys we're trying to give a shot to get in there and mix it up. But really been pleased with those two guys. They understand pass protection. They understand, hey, we may have inside zone called, but immediately we check it to a 6-man max protection, and they don't freeze up on me. They're just the learning curve, because in this league, which I always tell my backs, the first thing is no block, no rock. You got to be able to block, because we liable to want to run the ball, but they're not letting us by the front. We have to check the pass protections and got to keep the quarterback upright. But those two guys probably have been the most vocal on offense, all camp.
And, of course, it all starts with that offensive line. You got to have big, hungry guys that want to get out there and fight for 4 quarters. Just talk about the offensive line.
First one that stands out, Buddy Ballman, guy that never says anything. But when you pop the film on, he's been there. He knows exactly what we're looking for at at O-line. He understands what he's about to get into. Kadarius Hodges is a guy he's had few things going on. He's missed some camp. But Javonte Woodall, that's played a lot for us at guard, has done probably the most shocking has been him. But the way he attacks practice, like we'll condition sometimes, he starts running with the running backs. I think the light bulb has really come on for him. He's done a really good job. So we've kind of got 3 to 4 that's actually played a lot. And like I always say, if you've got a good offensive line, quarterback, all you got to do is manage the game. If you got a good offensive line, all the backs have to do is hit the hole. So, we got some experience there because that's usually the biggest adjustment. Because once the game starts, out-of-staters are usually on the defensive line in junior college, and in-staters are there. So basically, people put their best players on D-line in this league. But I feel really good up front about those guys.
And Coach, before I let you go, I want to open the floor once again, kind of let you just kind of sum things up, get the fans fired up for the season, and just any final thoughts you may have.
Well, hopefully, like Coach Cannon was saying earlier, we get true back to football. This town, the whole state needs football to come back. I mean, you think about you get in a routine, you don't understand what it's like not to have it till it's gone. And I feel like we got a chance to have a successful season. I think we've got kids that play the game the right way. I think we've got good, kids in our program, and Thursday nights, come pack the stadium, because I think you'll like what you see. I think you'll see kids. Coach Cannon has put it in their mind over and over and over. We're going to compete for 4 quarters, and that's the thing I've noticed in camp. And come see it, because I think if you come once, you'll want to come back again. Because I feel like we've got the guys to play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time and good luck this season.
Thank you.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I can go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best story here.
Ooh, fumble. Let's give her a Renasant replay. Make the right call with Renasant and get cell phone protection with Renasant Rewards Extra Checking. Sign up today.
$5 for my own money?
That's a bad call. Let's give him a Renasant replay. Sign up for Renasant Rewards Extra Checking with ATM refunds today.
Today tastes like game day at home, like assigned couch seating. Tastes like coffee table dining and an ice-cold Coke to cool down the heat. It tastes like the game you've waited for all week with friends you've known your whole life. Today tastes like watching football is supposed to, and it never tasted this good. Coca-Cola, together tastes better.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
with running back R.J. Wilson. A little bit more than running back. You catch the ball out of the backfield. You return some kicks and stuff, I know, is what you did last year for us. Now, camp's been going on. We're a week away now from the kickoff. Talk a little bit about how camp has went and kind of what you're expecting from yourself and the team this year.
Camp started out kind of iffy. We started out kind of ugly. We went all on the same boat. But now we starting to come together, play as a team. I'm getting the younger guys ready, so if I do go out, me and Jamal go out, they can step up and play also.
Okay, now you are one of the most game experienced players in the backfield. You played in the 5 games we had last year in that very different season. We're back to a full 9-game schedule this year. Talk a bit about how making that transition back to a full 9-game schedule has helped you prepare more and to help get those young guys ready for a long season.
Yes, sir. Last season was kind of, everybody know they didn't like that. We didn't have many games, but them games prepared me to prepare the younger guys to be ready because they never know what's gonna happen. We can go out, have another COVID season. COVID can strike, but I know what to do when that happens, so I can get the younger guys, ready for that if that ever do happen again.
Okay, well, now last season, like I said earlier, you did return some kicks and caught some balls out of the backfield and ran the ball with some success at all 3 facets there. Talk a little bit about what you've worked on yourself to get yourself better, to be able to execute all 3 of those parts of your game better.
Yes, sir. Well, I worked on getting my speed even more fast, Last year, I worked on returning more kicks, catching the kickoff returns, and I worked out catching the ball out of the backfield more. As Coach Cook, we do that a lot. So I've been working on that also. Instead of just running the ball over and over, I've been working on catching the ball and catching kickoff returns also.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about, since you are in that backfield, talk a bit about your offensive line, because we all know running backs are only as good as their offensive line. Talk a bit about what you've seen from your vantage point with how the offensive line is shaping up this year.
Well, we started out kind of, like I said, iffy, but now they starting to come together, move faster. Last year, we kind of started slow, but it stayed slow. This year, they finally starting to come together, and, they moving the defensive line nowadays, so they starting to come together as a team now.
All right. Well, lastly, I was out at the scrimmage for a little bit. Just seemed like you guys on offense were starting to click, like you said. Talk about some of the other youthful running backs or wide receivers that you've seen, the skill guys. Talk a bit about a couple of them and what you expect to see from yourself and them this year.
Well, we got Braylon Miller. He's a younger back, just came in. He's starting to click now. He can help us a lot. We got Eric Watts, a really fast guy. He can help us in the backfield, like catching passes, screens, and he also can play receiver. We got Jay Webb, tall receiver, can go up and get the ball. We got a lot of more younger guys in the backfield and also a receiver that can help us. Can't name all of them out, but yeah. Basically, the whole backfield and receiver court, come together, and they do come together. We got some pretty talented guys.
All right, RJ, well, thanks for your time and best of luck this season.
Yes, sir, thank you.
And now we are joined by sophomore wide receiver J.J. Daniels. All right, J.J., we are a week away from the season. Camp's starting to wind down, but talk a little bit about how camp has been going there for the wide receiver corps.
Camp's been going great. We got a great new core going in. We got a couple new guys that's filling those roles that like Quay Davis, and he's gone. We got a few guys step in the role and take that place for him.
Okay, well, you mentioned Quay, of course, going on to Ole Miss now after his time here, which we look for, of course, big things for him down there in Oxford. But talk a bit about how playing with Quay last year, as well as some of these other guys who are returning. Talk a little bit about last season and how you're able to translate that into this season.
Last season, it was pretty great. We had a good core, but this year we got an even better core because we got a few new guys like Jalen Webb and DeQuan Smith. He's a pretty good dude. All them guys, they factor in on each other. Do a great job together.
All right, now you talked about some of that wide receiver core this year and how y'all been getting to know each other at camp and stuff. Talk about the battles y'all been having, that healthy competition, fighting for a position spot and everything. Talk about how that is meshing with you guys.
But throughout camp, we've been fighting hard, fighting long and hard, fighting through the terrible heat we've been going through. But we've been fighting hard enough. It's been great competition, and we just good enough to fight battles and keep going forward.
Okay, now talk about this year will be for a lot of guys like yourself, will be the first time you played a full 9-game schedule with the 5-game season last year. Talk a little bit about how you're helping prepare yourself as well as some of these younger guys for that full game schedule.
You know, last year I wasn't as healthy. I had a high ankle sprain, so I really didn't get a full season like we did this year. But hopefully I'm staying healthy, you know, try to bring up some younger guys, you know, that fill those big roles that we need to take forward too.
Okay, well, lastly, let's just talk a little bit about the excitement level of the team as you guys head into the season and get into your first game week. Talk about how excited you are, how excited the team is, and how ready you guys are to strap it up and get to playing.
Man, I'm so excited. We've been at it since this summer. We just ready to play somebody else, and we've been hitting on each other since forever. We're just ready to go, ready for next week.
All right, JJ, thank you for your time and best of luck this season.
All right, thank you.
All right, we are now joined by sophomore offensive lineman Javonte Woodall. Now, Javonte, season's about here. I know you guys are excited. I know you're excited. Let's talk about this offensive line. I know we got some experience coming back this year. Talk a little bit about how camp's going, how you guys are meshing, and how you guys are competing for spots out there.
Well, on the offensive line, you know, it's rough being one and turning 3 defensive guys and everything, hitting them big fellas. As offensive linemen, we got to come together and make sure that we do everything we have to do to make sure we do good this season.
Okay, now, with that experience coming back on defense is definitely making you guys better, that's for sure. But talk about yourself and some of the other returning offensive linemen and what you guys are doing to help get these young guys trained up and ready for the season.
Well, I try to keep on top of that game. Is running to the ball and everything. It's me, other the offensive returning guys. We try to stay on top of the freshmen to make sure they run to the ball and make sure they communicate to each other.
Last season, in that shortened season, with our offense, we averaged around 360 yards a game, which is good. And, of course, that always starts up front in the trenches with you guys. Talk a little bit about what the offensive line has done to make those skilled guys better. What have you guys been working on to make sure those guys can keep putting up yards?
What we do, we work on our screens a lot to make sure we get out there, keep the blocks for them, stay on our blocks. They stay on their blocks too, come to running the ball. We all work together and keep our blocks up.
Okay, well, let's talk about you for a minute and just talk about what you've been doing in camp and in the offseason to help get yourself better, to help make that offensive line better.
Okay, well, me being a sophomore, I had to step up more and keep the offensive linemen on the right track with double teams, blocks and all. Off-season, feet work is more important, you know, stay on our blocks and all.
Okay, well, with the season almost here, talk about that excitement level that's in the locker room and with yourself and the other offensive linemen. How excited are y'all to get ready, get this season going, and get out there and try to win us some ball games?
Very excited. We're going for a ring this year.
I like the way you think on that. All right, Javonte, thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a great season.
Appreciate you. You too.
All right, now we are joined by sophomore defensive back Peyton Ray. Peyton, camp's coming to a close. Season's almost here. Talk a little bit about how camp has went so far this year on the defensive side of the ball.
I think it's going good. We got a lot of returning players and then some new faces too, but it's coming along good, and I think we're going to have a good season.
Okay, well, now last year in that shortened season, you had 33 tackles, which was in 5 games. That's a lot of tackles. So just talk a little bit about how you plan to get better this year and to help pick up more wins this season.
Just doing the assignments, doing every assignment right, and making tackles, no missed tackles, and helping the team any way I can.
Okay, now with camp going on, you said there's a lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces. Talk about how the team chemistry has come along so far through camp as we are 1 week away from kickoff.
I think it's been really good. Everybody's gotten to know each other very well, and everybody gets along real well. I think it's really good.
All right, now from your vantage point there in the secondary, talk a little bit about what you've seen out of the defense so far in the scrimmage and through just practices.
I think we've had a good camp so far, and I think we've done good. And we've just been going against our own offense for so long now. I think we're ready to play another team now.
Okay, now with the season only being a week away and it being on the road, being one of the veteran guys there on the defense, talk a bit about how you're preparing yourself as well as getting some of the younger guys ready for this 9-game season.
Reps at practice, a lot of mental reps, physical reps, watching film, and everything like that.
Okay, well, what's one thing that you've been working on here in camp to try to take your game to the next level?
Making tackles and getting in coverage and staying in coverage better.
All right, well, now I just want to ask you simply about the excitement level. How is the excitement level of the team as we are getting ready to strap up and go against somebody else?
I think everybody's very excited to get to hit another team.
All right, Peyton, well, thanks for your time and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, now we're joined by Jaquan Lott, sophomore defensive lineman here for the Indians. All right, Jaquan, season's almost here, week away, camp's wrapping up. I know you guys have been getting at it out there. Just talk a bit about how camp is going for you, yourself, and the rest of the defensive line.
Man, it's been really good. It's been a struggle, but everything's been going as planned. It's been hot trying to fight the heat and not trying to fight each other, but everything is going good for the most part.
Okay, you talking about you guys fighting each other, getting that healthy competition, getting after each other, trying to make each other better. Talk about how this defensive line is coming together and getting better to get ready for the season.
Piece by piece, we are slowly coming together. And it's going to be a good season as far as we have a lot of experience coming back just as a whole, as a defensive group and on the defensive line. Me and Tyreek Howard will be a big impact as far as interior. But as far as the defensive end group, we have a lot of experience there who is also going to play a big role. We had a couple out-of-staters come in that will also help and play a big part in our defensive line.
Okay, so you got a lot of depth there this year, which is a good thing, of course. So talk about this defensive group as a whole, not just your line. Talk about this defensive group as a whole and how effective you think you guys are going to be. Because, last season, in the shortened 5-game season, there was only one game where a team ran for over 100 yards once. All right, the rest of them you held under 100. That's a good goal to have, of course, every game.
Yes, sir.
Talk about how you guys plan to take the success you had against the rush game last year and implement it this year, too.
This year we have a lot of experience coming back. So it will definitely be the same type of actions that will be applied in this season, and we will be the #1 defense this year. We have a lot of experience, and as a group, as a collective group, a lot of sophomores. We just got to pull up the freshmen up to our expectations, up to the team expectations, and we will go as far as they want us to go.
All right, Jaquan, well, let's talk a little bit about just you this time. I know this is not an individual sport, but I know you've been putting in work to get better. What have you been working on to better yourself and get ready for this full 9-game season?
I've been working on this season since the end of last season. As some may not know, I had got up to 340 pounds, and now I dropped to 315 to 320. So I'm moving a lot better, and I'm feeling a lot more versatile. So as far as me getting ready, I've been running, conditioning, working on footwork drills, going to a lot of camps, trying to get my name out there as much as possible.
All right, well, lastly, just as we are a week away, talk about that excitement, how ready you are to get out there and play football.
Man, I'm just ready. I'm ready to rock and roll at this point. It's been a long journey, and it's a lot of patience. So right now, I'm just ready to go. Like, it's just that time.
All right, well, best of luck this season. Of course, we'll be there looking forward to seeing you guys play.
Yes, sir.
Now we're joined by sophomore linebacker Yafet Hearn. Now, Yafet, camp's coming to a close, but it's not over yet. But talk a little bit about camp, how well it's been going for you and the other linebackers and the defense.
Okay, well, camp's been going pretty well. I think as a defense, we've mostly gelled. Been a real good experience. A lot of new guys, but a lot of old guys, especially with the front seven. I think, as far as run defense, we'll be pretty good. As a linebacker core, I think it's just mainly communication, knowing where to be. Coach has us working real hard in individual drills, especially trying to get our communication down pat and just, making sure we're all on the same page.
Okay, well, now you talk about the experience there with that front seven. Talk about that linebacker core in particularly. Talk about some of that experience that you have coming back and what you experienced the guys are doing to get these young guys ready for the season.
With myself, Corley Hooper, Breon Jordan, we have Brandon Fairley. I think that's just saying those names says a lot because, we've been through spring. Me and Hooper, we've been through, this is our third year of JUCO, so I think it's just a lot of, experience there.
Okay, well, talk about what you have been working on as far as your game goes to get better to help that linebacker core be successful this year.
Just really working on more of my coverage this year, trying to, it's kind of hard running after those receivers, but, gotta work on it, and just understanding fully the playbook. What we're trying to do as far as concept and what we want to do in certain situations.
Okay, well, talk about that rest of that defense behind you. You got that experienced front defensive four there in front of you, and then you got some experience behind you too in the secondary. Talk about those guys around this linebacker core and what you expect to see out of that D-line and in the secondary.
That D-line, Howard, you got Lott, those two guys, they just really make it easy up inside, They take up a lot of space. Then you have Ralph Dunn on the perimeter as corner, You got Peyton Ray, always, gonna know what to do. So I think just that, mixed in with the young guys, which has a lot of talent, I think it'll really just give us that extra push that we need this year.
Okay, lastly, off that, just talk about the excitement heading into a season as we're a week away. Talk about what the excitement and how it feels to get ready to go down to Southwest and get after it.
Definitely not a lot of nerves, but as you get closer and closer, for me, I just always kind of eases me a little bit. Just getting closer and closer to game day. I think on game day I'll just finally get to let it all out. I think as a team right now we're just waiting on that moment just to let it all out.
All right, well, best of luck this season, and we look forward to keeping up with everybody.
Thank you.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renasant Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renasant Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
If I crave something, I have to have it.
So what are you craving? What do you crave?
Attention, apparently. Look at him all sitting in the middle.
I know, right? It is really awkward. You just chose to sit there.
Sonic Crave Cheeseburger.
They used to call me Sir Sauce back in the day.
I knew you was going to claim
Sir
that.
Sauce a lot.
Will is the sauciest
guy they know. Well, when I used to date your auntie, she said I was
saucy.
saucy.
Sonic Crave Cheeseburger. You a saucy cat, man.
Look at this crazy calzone from those brainiacs at Little Caesars. Is it more pizza or more calzone?
Pizza. Calzone. Confused. Pizza. Pizza. Calzone. Both.
We're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. The new crazy calzone for $8.49.
Pizza.
Get a free extra most bestest pizza right now at littlecaesars.com.
Ding dong.
Order $15 or more for delivery and get a free extra most bestest pizza. Use code Extra Pizza at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.